Hey, friends! As you know, the legend himself, James Earl Jones, recently passed away. What can you say? The voice of Darth Vader, the Snake King in Conan, the writer in Field of Dreams, Mufasa in The Lion King, and on and on and on. But while people are talking about Vader or Mufasa, you know your old pal, Barkey Dog. I wanted to find a performance by Jones that maybe fell under the radar or by the wayside and introduce it to you. So this time, we're looking at The UFO Incident, a TV movie from 1975. Our story goes like this. Betty and Barney Hill, an interracial couple, are driving along in New Hampshire one night in 1961 when they saw a UFO and were reportedly captured by aliens. These spacemen run tests on them and then release the couple and fly away. The movie is focused mostly on the fallout of this close encounter as the couple have to deal with the psychological aftermath of their experience. While taking therapy under hypnosis, they recall the event in startling detail. This is a famous story in UFO circles. The movie is based on a book that was written about the couple's experience called The Interrupted Journey in 1966. This story was reenacted in an episode of Carl Sagan's Cosmos, and I'm pretty sure it was on In Search Of, too. Whether you believe their story or not, by all accounts, they seemed sincere and had no reason to make it up. They didn't seek publicity like people do today. Barney Hill died a few years after the book came out. His wife never remarried and became a sort of celebrity in the UFO community, getting battier and battier over the years, embellishing the story and making up new ones. But while she got loonier later in life, that doesn't mean she made up the original story. She died in 2004. As for this movie, The UFO Incident, it's a great example of the chances Universal took with their TV movies back in the day. They cranked out a ton of these things, and some were very good, like this picture. In our cast, we have Estelle Parsons as Betty Hill. She's really good, channeling the real-life person and doing all right with a New England accent. We also have Bernard Hughes, who was in a metric ton of stuff, including The Lost Boys and Tron. We last saw him in my review of a Dick Van Dyke movie, Cold Turkey. Here, he plays the couple's therapist, and he's quite good. And James Earl Jones as Barney Hill. He's amazing. The thing that gets me in this is that Hill is a character unlike any Jones played before or since. You can say the same about any of his roles. That's a measure of the man's talent. There's some powerful scenes where he freaks out under hypnosis from the sheer terror of being abducted by these aliens. His building frustration at not being able to recall what happened, his issues about race, the humor his character has, all of it. Jones is so good in this picture, and it really shows off the man's range. True, the aliens and their spaceship are kind of cheap looking, but that isn't the focus of the movie. The focus is how these two people struggle with the encounter. If you've not seen this picture, it's definitely worth a watch. Certainly for the performances by Jones and Parsons. Kino Lorber has done right by this one. This Blu-ray not only has a good print of the movie, it also includes a full-length documentary on the movie's composer, a guy who, honestly, I'd never heard of before, but we've all heard his work over the years. Billy Goldenberg worked on a whole ton of TV movies and films in his long career, crafting lush orchestral scores and unusual, even experimental soundscapes. He wrote the theme for The Sixth Sense, the TV series with Gary Collins. He scored several episodes of Columbo and Night Gallery. He wrote such varied things as the theme to Kojak and the theme to Rhoda, of all things. He scored Steven Spielberg's first big hit project, Duel. I have a copy of that on Blu-ray, thanks to Michael, one of my viewers, so I'm gonna have to get off my duff and review that one pretty soon. Goldenberg had a flair for horror music too, and he scored the creepy music in this picture. The documentary is a really interesting look at Goldenberg's life and his work, so this is the disc to get. I'm giving the UFO Incident 2 3/4 paws on its own merit, but the presentation on this disc earns it an extra quarter paw, so 3 paws up for this one. It's sad to see an actor with the depth and range and the character of James Earl Jones leave us. But he was over 90 and loved by everyone. Not a bad way to exit the stage. So we can't be too sad for him. We can only be sad for ourselves because he's no longer with us. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.